My salutations to all of the pious souls present here. We, in our lives, we often see that when any child is born, then at that time he remains completely empty, he remains completely void. And then the members of his family, they name him. They give him a name. As soon as they give him a name, then a separate existence of his gets created. And this is why earlier it used to be called Anamkaran Sanskar, the imparting of an inner value through the name. Even the name used to be given through the medium of the Guru. There was only one objective behind this, that the body should be given a name. But along with the name, there should not be ego, there should not be physical consciousness. Looking at all of this, the Guru used to do the namkaran, the naming. Slowly, slowly, after giving the name, he slowly, slowly starts to get ego, the ego of caste, the ego of religion, the ego of language, the ego of country. In this way, one by one, armors of ego start to be worn by him. And this all begins with the name. And on the basis of his name, the child spends his entire life. The name is connected to the physical consciousness. And that very physical consciousness if by ending it and to awaken the soul consciousness, this is the objective of the Guru. The relationship between the Guru and the disciple is a relationship that spans many, many lifetimes, This relationship has been going on for lives and lives on end. All of the other relationships keep changing with each and every life. In each and every life, there are new relationships, there are new relatives. There is a new place, there are new circumstances. But there's only one such relationship that has been going on for lives and lives on end. And that relationship is the relationship between a guru and disciple. The core foundation of this relationship always remains to be selfless love. With a selfless feeling, the guru loves his disciple, and he wants that he should become free from the cycle of lives and lives on end. But the disciple, he listens to some things and he does not listen to some things. He absorbs some things and he does not absorb some things. And as his physical consciousness is there, and as are the circumstances around him, then according to those circumstances, he keeps interpreting the Guru's words. So the Guru keeps speaking of the mountains, and the disciple keeps interpreting it in a different way, because there is no synchronicity between the two. And then next, so that the disciple can receive self-realization, the disciple does not have such a body. Both of them have different problems, different issues. The issue of the disciple the energy of self-realization. He does not have a body that can absorb this energy. The manner in which one cannot put water in a raw pot in exactly the same way, in a raw body, one cannot obtain self-realization. So this is the problem of the disciple. The problem of the Guru is that the time that is worthy for one to receive self-realization, that is appropriate for self-realization, of that time period, of that time, the Guru keeps waiting for this time, because this time, until it is not present, until then, this energy of self-realization cannot flow. So the Guru keeps waiting for this. However, this wait is of thousands of years. It is of births and births on end, but for this much time, he tries to keep the disciple with him, so that if not in this birth, then in the next birth, if not in that birth, then in the next birth after that, he awakens that curiosity, he awakens that thirst, that he can absorb the energy of self-realization. So in this way, after an effort of lifetimes and lifetimes on end, then one such time comes within which this incident of self-realization happens, and this time is the time of today. And for this time of today, 700 years before today, 800 years before today, Saint Nyaneshwar had said, one such time will come, during which this incident will happen with great ease, with great simplicity. So this incident of self-realization has happened with ease, with simplicity. You have even obtained it, but after obtaining it, its realization, how many people have this? How many people have known that what we have received is different from everything we have received up until now in our life? It is different because all of the knowledge that we had obtained, that knowledge was based on books. It was absorbed from books. Nothing was experienced firsthand. It was written in books. We read it. However, any anubhuti, any spiritual experience of this, any experience, we had not obtained it. So this is a spiritual experience, an experience. And this spiritual experience makes you feel, it reminds you that you are not a body, but a soul. The evidence of this, the spiritual experience gives this to you. Through the spiritual experience, you feel that you are not the body, you are a soul. However, just to receive the spiritual experience or to just obtain self-realization is not the objective of your life. This is only a path. This is only a way through which you, in your life, you have to reach that karma-free state, after reaching which you become free from everything. So on this path, to go there, to reach there, what is the obstacle in this? The obstacle is the ego of I, of the body. This ego is extremely subtle. With time, it changes itself. With time, its form changes. But it does not get completely destroyed. It does not get completely destroyed because it changes its form. Earlier, you will have the ego of being rich. And then later, I have become a sadhak. This is the ego. Earlier, it is the ego of being beautiful. Then later, I have become a sadhak. This is the ego. So meaning I have become a sadhak. This is also an ego. So even this should not be there. In fact, there should be none of these. And then next, this feeling of I that is there. This creates expectations within you. The soul never has any expectations. And expectations are the biggest obstacle on the path of meditation. You think that there is no expectation at all, and you're doing work. What work are you doing? There's no expectation of doing any work. You're meditating. You're doing it only because, by meditating, our soul becomes happy. By meditating, our soul feels good. This is the only inner feeling. You're meditating with this inner feeling. Apart from this, there is no objective of yours behind meditating. There is no expectation of yours behind meditation. So if you have a practice of going into the past a lot, your chitta, your attention is going into the past a lot, then go so far back, go so far back, go so far back, go to your childhood. And after going to your childhood, then slowly, go up until the point you were a newborn baby. When you go up until this point where you were a newborn baby, then you will realize you are a newborn baby that has been born just yesterday. So, there is no name, there is no caste, there is no religion, there is nothing. There's complete emptiness, he's completely void. And he remembers all of the things from his past life. He remembers the karmas of his past life, because of which karmas Has he taken on this body? He remembers this as well. He also knows his objectives. That in his past life, the thoughts that he had, those thoughts had come because of company. And because of those thoughts, those types of karmas had happened. And in order to endure those karmas itself, I have taken on this body. And I have to endure those karmas. I have to end those karmas. So one has to end those karmas, definitely. But at that time, that new karmas should not get created. One also needs to pay attention to this. So this is why this is possible when your life you live your life not by thinking of yourself as a physical body, but by thinking of yourself as a soul. So even if something good happens, then you will not get the ego of this. So in your life, even if something bad happens, you will not have the guilt of this. So after one soul consciousness is awakened within you, the power of acceptance will increase within you boundlessly. In each and every circumstance, in each and every state, you will accept it. And after accepting it, then you see, in your life, a complete peace will come, a complete satisfaction will come of anything, of any place, of any person. There will be no feeling of complaint anymore. Why? You are living your life beyond the physical body. So if I say it in simple words, to die before your death, this is meditation. Meditation is such a state in which a physical consciousness is left behind completely. Our body is there, but the physical consciousness has come to an end. But when does a physical consciousness come to an end? When our body comes to an end. So this is not the case here. The body is there, but the physical consciousness has come to an end. So we have died while being alive. This is the state. And this state can be obtained through meditation. Through meditation, your physical consciousness can come to a complete end, and your soul consciousness can be completely awakened. In reality, what is the case? When we think about the past, we remain in the lunar energy channel. So we are living while being in the lunar energy channel. When we think about the future, then we remain in the solar energy channel. So meaning, we are thinking of the past and living, when in fact, nor do we keep living in the past, when in reality, nor do we keep living in the future. We keep living in the present. And in the present, we are just not here. We are living in the present. And through our thoughts, we are living in the past. Through our thoughts, we are living in the future. So this is not living in one's life. So if you want to live in reality, you will have to learn to remain in the present time. If you remain in the present time, then what will happen? Whatever energy there is, you will gather it. You will increase it. So meditation is one such medium through which you learn to remain in the present. You slowly have control over your past. You slowly have control over your future, and then you remain in the present. This is not an incident that happens immediately. For this, one needs constant practice. The need is that one does constant practice, and you do constant spiritual practice, and you take time for yourself. See, we give time to our family. We give time to society. We give time to our country. We give time to everyone, except for ourselves. So this meditation, to do this, it means to give time to oneself. And in reality, we say this in everyday language to meditate. In reality, one should not meditate. Meditation, there is a state. Imagine that a boy loves a girl. So does he do this, that he loves her for half an hour, and for other 23 and a half hours he does not do it? It is not like this. If he does it for the full 24 hours. In exactly this way, some sadhaks are meditating for half an hour, and then they are thinking that we have become sadhaks. And for the other 23 and a half hours, they keep doing their own business. And then after that, they meditate for half an hour. Oh dear. You have to meditate for half an hour. And for 23 and a half hours, you have to remain in meditation. I am seeing, right? For the last 25 years. Imagine that there's a car, I started that car. I am a key through which that car can be started. So I've started it and given it to you. But drive it. After starting the car, you're sitting. You're sitting for 25 years. You're meditating only for half an hour. This is not the... Your life should change. In the day for 24 hours, I do not say sit in meditation for 24 hours. But for 24 hours, sit in the state of meditation. And when you sit in this state of meditation, then there will be a change in your life. Just by meditating for half an hour, you think that your duty is completed, your work is completed, and opposite, the ego comes that I meditate regularly. But how much? For half an hour? Not for half an hour. In reality, the influence of that half an hour should fall in your whole life. Then there will be a change. It is happening. Sadhaks are meditating for 20-25 years, but half an hour. But the effect of that half an hour, the influence of that half an hour, is it falling on their complete life? One needs to self-reflect on this. Has a change come within you? Has there been a change within you today? You are connected to Samarpan meditation. So how much publicity and propagation of meditation is happening? How much progress is happening? How many countries are joining? Today, more than 70, close to 70 countries are connected. So have you made this much progress? And if you have not, then it means that somewhere your connection is loose. There is a need to make that connection permanent. And there's only one path to make it permanent. There's only one way to make it permanent. And that way is that with a surrendered feeling, you get connected to it. Your ego, your I, leave it and get connected. Because even by remaining here, even after coming here, if you keep the feeling of I, then where will it be left behind? There's only one place. By coming where? You can leave your feeling of I. When we sit down to meditate, then we say, I am a holy soul, I am a pure soul. So what you are saying? Are you experiencing this? You are saying, I am a holy soul. So then are you feeling that really you are a holy soul? Feel it, right? And then next, holiness is another name of the soul. In different castes, in different religions, in different countries, I have taken birth, and yet my holiness has always been maintained. Holiness is a quality of the soul. This quality has always been maintained. Do you have the realization of this first? And then when you say, do you not, I am a pure soul, then do you feel that you really are a pure soul? Do you forget on which post you're at, or which caste you're of, or which religion you're of, or which country you're from? There's a need to forget this. And then whether you're a man or a woman, forget this also. You should not remember anything. You should not remember any boundary related to the physical body, not of any gender, not of any caste, not of any country, nothing. Because the soul, all of these boundaries are created by humans, are created by the intellect. The soul has no boundaries. This is why. Become a soul, right? When you say, I am a holy soul, then really feel that I am a holy soul. And when you say, I am a pure soul, then your existence is nothing apart from the soul. Feel this. Then what will happen? In the morning, if you do it even for some time, even if you meditate for half an hour, in reality, you will do it with so much inner feeling. Do it only for half an hour. I'm not saying you do it for 24 hours. I do not do it myself either. I meditate for half an hour. But what is said, what is felt, what is experienced, its effect will remain on your other 23 and a half hours. But do it for that half an hour and do it completely. And then at that time, you should not get any thoughts. Ordinarily, sadhaks get thoughts. And when they get thoughts, then what happens? The thoughts have no energy of their own. The thoughts remain lifeless. But when you put your chitta into it, when you start to think, then what happens? Then you give it energy to the thoughts. Then the second one came and the third one came, then a line of thought starts. So the best solution is when the very first thought comes, then start to watch it. To think and to look at thoughts, there's a difference between the two. To think means that we ourselves are involved in it. A chitta is in it. And to look at thoughts means that we are separate. Our existence is separate. And the existence of thoughts is separate. So like this is a practice. It will not happen immediately. But practice this. Do the practice of watching thoughts. What will happen within this? Then slowly, slowly you will stop getting thoughts. These thoughts, are bringing you to the physical level. I'm opposed to thoughts because thoughts take you to the physical level. And next, trying to stop thoughts, this takes you even more up to the physical level. On the spiritual path, in the spiritual field, there is no place for the efforts of the physical body. And next, there is a very strange mathematic to the spiritual field. What do we see in our life? How much ever we have, if we distribute it, it will become less. If we have some wealth, then if we distribute it, then it will become less. But this is not the case here. In the spiritual field, as much as you will distribute, that much more it will increase. It will develop. This is a true experience I've had in my life. As much as you will distribute it, as much as will keep coming and going, that much. And as much as you keep distributing, that much more will keep coming. Now, this is the state. That which I have obtained in this life, it is impossible to distribute it in this life because there's so much knowledge. How much knowledge comes out? As much as there are people to receive who meet. If I don't meet people who can receive, it will not come out because nothing happens by itself. And next, so many gurus have given it. There's so much knowledge that I just cannot distribute it in my life. Whatever I have distributed, or you're thinking, it's not even 10% of what I have in life. So then what path came? I took this path that by establishing the Mangal Murtis, the auspicious idols, more than 90% of my knowledge, I have authorized it there. I have established it there. So that in the future to come, in the next 200 years, 500 years, even then, if some soul comes, it can absorb knowledge from it. It can absorb spiritual experience from it. So the process of knowledge, as much as you will distribute, even you in your life, as much as you have received, start to distribute that much, and then you will see that as much as you will distribute, that much more it will increase. This is the arithmetic. This is the arithmetic of spirituality. As much knowledge as you have obtained, don't keep it with yourself. We remain to be very miserly. If we have some spiritual experience, we are keeping it to ourselves. If you had a spiritual experience, distribute it also. And next, always, if you're feeling that, for my spiritual experience, what will the person in front think? Meaning you're at the physical level. You're thinking that, what will the person in front think? What will the person in front think? That is his question. What do you have to do with that? You, whatever experience you have had, whatever spiritual experience you have had, it has happened to your soul, not to your physical body. So whether you should distribute it or you should not distribute it, this thought should also not be that of the body, it should be that of the soul. The soul can never keep anything with itself. Whatever spiritual experiences it has, whatever knowledge it has, it distributes it to others and becomes free. And as much as you will distribute, and even spiritual experiences, as much as you will distribute, that much more they will increase. Sometimes I feel that today, through the medium of media, to the medium of communication, you have so many amenities available to you that even a person lying on a bed who cannot walk, who cannot roam around, even while sitting, through WhatsApp, one message that he has received from the Guru, he can deliver it to thousands of people. And what one good thing that is there, do you know what this is? How many people that message reaches, even he does not get to know. If he gave knowledge to 1,000 people, then immediately he can get ego, that I distributed this within 1,000 people. But the WhatsApp that you have sent, the message that you have sent, that it has reached hundreds of thousands of people, that you will not get to know that it has happened through you. So this process happens in the subtle. So it is such a good medium. So you have so many mediums available. Use those mediums, right? So all of the technology, its use. How can we use this for our work? Think a little bit about this. As much more as you will think, that much more work will happen through your hands. And next, the person in front, whether he reads, he does not read, whether a person absorbs or he does not absorb, in both of the states, your chitta went on that message, certainly. So whichever message comes, distribute it to as many people as possible. As much as you will distribute, that much more your spiritual progress will happen. For me as well, as much knowledge as I receive, and it's coming even now, and then I distribute it and become free. I become empty. And as soon as I become empty, it comes again. So this process of it coming, and then next, even you try to take your experience and see. You also try to do it and see. As soon as you become a medium, you also obtain that consciousness. You also obtain that spiritual state, that state which, through efforts, through attempts, it cannot be received at all. That is why what is necessary is that you do publicity and propagation work, and so that through this it will reach the maximum number of people. And the next to absorb or to not absorb, this depends on his state. If his state is good, then he will absorb, and if it is not good, he will not absorb. So meaning that is not our area of concern, but to distribute is the core nature of the soul. Any holy soul, any pure soul, whatever knowledge is obtained through the physical body, it cannot keep it with itself. It will become free even of that. And this is the very reason. Even the Gurus of the Himalayas, by distributing it, they became free of it. That is why one does not get liberation even with knowledge. What does liberation mean? To be free from everything. So one needs to become free from knowledge as well. Whatever knowledge you have obtained, whatever spiritual experience you have obtained, it is necessary to distribute that spiritual experience in your life as well. That is an obstacle in your path towards meditation. You will also have to distribute it. You will also have to become free from it. When you become free, then you can obtain that state that we call the karma-free state. What does a karma-free state mean? Such a state where the karmas performed in your past life, you've endured them. Your karmas are over. And now bad karmas just do not happen in your life. And they do not happen because the energy to do bad deeds, we just do not have it anymore. So bad karmas do not happen. And then next, good karmas happen. But they do not happen with the physical consciousness. They happen with the soul consciousness. And then after that, I have done it. Even then, this never gets connected to it. This is also the case with donation. If you do donation at the physical level, it will increase your ego. But if that very donation you do it at the soul level, then what will happen? It will make the soul strong. It will make the soul happy. So donation has both of these effects, a good effect and a bad effect. With which inner feeling do you do it? At which level do you do it? If you do it at the physical level, then this is why hidden donation has been given great importance in our Shastras. So, hidden donation means who has given, nobody knows. He does not want to say his name, who has given it, in a subtle form. But from inside, he wants to obtain satisfaction. That I have done some donation. He keeps this inner feeling. But in order to tell anyone, to show it, there is no wish for this anywhere. So this is why there's an importance to hidden donation. So that donation, that not with the physical body, that not at the level of the physical body, but by believing in oneself to be a soul. This is that donation. So this is to say that if you do any work, if you do it at the soul level, then it will not get connected to you. This is first. And then second, what will happen? You will obtain that state that in your account there is no karma left at all. Nor are there karmas of your past life, nor are there bad karmas of this life, nor are there good karmas of this life. So there is no karma at all. A state of void is what you have received in your life. This is called the karma-free state, and this state, after obtaining it, this itself is called moksha, liberation. Liberation is not something to be obtained. Liberation is something to be free of everything. To be free means not to leave everyone, not to sacrifice anything. I do not say this. Stay in the middle of everyone, but stay with your physical body. With your soul, stay not in the middle of anyone. Just as there's a lotus flower, it blooms in the mud, and one of its sticks is standing in the mud. So meaning, there's one such stick through which it has established its relationship with the mud. It has not broken the relationship, and it is taking its energy from that. It is taking it from the mud itself. But it is rising and blooming, and after it blooms, it has no connection to the mud, when in fact it has bloomed because of the mud itself. So next you see, on any one of its leaves, there will never be any mud. On any one of its flowers, there will never be any mud. So meaning it is staying in the lotus. It is staying in the mud, but it is staying detached from the mud. In exactly this way, you have to stay in family, you have to stay in society, you have to stay in the middle of everyone. But how? Through the physical body, but through the soul. You have to maintain your existence to be separate. In exactly this way, a lotus flower is blooming separately from the mud. It has no connection to the mud at all. It happens. Just as there's a boat, it swims in a river. But does the river come inside the boat? No, it does not. If the river comes inside the boat itself will sink. In exactly the same way, you should float in this river of the society and float like a boat. Do not let society come inside. Do not let the problems of outside, the issues of outside come inside. What do? The issues of outside, the problems of outside, you take them so much into yourself, that the state within you becomes spoiled. And then after this, all of these external problems, external issues, your life goes in solving them. So what is necessary is that you pay attention to the problems within. If you make your inner state good, then automatically your external state will become good. Your face is black, that is why it is being seen to be black. If your face is white, it will be seen to be white. So whatever is the state outside is a reflection of your state inside. If you want to make your outside circumstances good, then improve them from the root. Its root is within you itself, it is inside you itself. As much as you improve the state within yourself, as much as you'll make it holy, you will make it pure, as that much your external state will become good. So the karma-free state is that state within which there is no reason left at all, because of which you take one more birth. Always remember, each and every time, there's some reason to take birth. Either there's some karma, to endure which you have to take another birth, when there are no karmas left at all. Nor are there good karmas, nor are there bad karmas, there are no karmas left at all. Then what will happen? There is no birth at all. There is no second birth at all. This was the case for me also. Even my objective for taking birth, whatever I had obtained, whatever knowledge I had obtained, whatever spiritual experiences I had obtained, to deliver these spiritual experiences to you, this was the objective of my life. I have completed this objective in this life of mine, so now there's nothing left for me. I also do not have any next birth. I also wish that you also do not have another next birth, that this should be your last birth. But when will this happen? When you will obtain that karma-free state. And you can obtain this through meditation, with your full inner feeling. Now we will meditate. Nothing. Those people who are sitting on the floor, if they can sit down on the floor, sit on the floor. If not, touch the soles of your feet to the floor. And then keep your right hand on the crown of your head and give it a light press. Rotate it clockwise 3 times. And stabilize your chitta on the crown. And slowly bring your hand down. Along with me, with full inner feeling, we will chant the mantra. I am a holy soul. I am a pure soul. I am a holy soul. I am a pure soul. I am a holy soul. I am a pure soul.